Okay, good evening everyone, and I want to welcome you to tonight's broadcast on my book review. And today I'm not going live on Instagram today, and I'm bringing it live to YouTube and my Facebook channel. Yes, so these are the two platforms that I'm going live for this book review, so that I can connect with you live, so that I can answer your questions, and yes, we can make it more lively and interesting. So I'm here because of you. So I want to appreciate you all for coming, and for you that you're on YouTube, I want to welcome you too specially. And before you go, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. As you're watching me now, just click that subscription button. Yes, right now, click that subscription button. Yes, I'm pleading. Actually, I'm pleading. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can be the first one to get access to my videos, whichever of my videos I'm posting, whether just a chat, my book review, or all my videos, so that you can have access to it. And on Facebook too, I believe yes, I think I'm here on Couples Waiting Room. I don't know, but yeah, I think I'm live on Couples Waiting Room too. So how are you all doing, and how has been your week so far? So good. It's been an awesome time. And for this book review, I know I've started this for the past, I think this should be now that we are now discussing chapter 7. I think we've started this for the past 8 weeks, 8 or 7 weeks. Yes, we've started for the past 7 weeks, and it's been an amazing journey. If you missed any of the weekly review, maybe the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, you can just go back to my Facebook group or my Instagram group, Instagram support group, fertility support group on Instagram. That's Couples Waiting Room. Just check out the videos there, or if you need them privately, just reach out to me. And this is the book I'm reviewing for the past 7 weeks. This is my book, my first book, and it's one of its kind in Africa and all over, as in the book addressing infertility, especially in the African country. And because what we face in the society, what people that are going through infertility face in our society here, especially African, it's something that really it has really affected a lot of people, a lot of relationships, marriages. And as someone who went through infertility myself, I understand the journey, I understand the story, I understand the things I went through, and things that people really ignore, and they think, okay, it's the tradition, it's the culture, and how people that have such TTC couples around them, how they can really cope with them, how they can help them through the journey. So, and also being a mental health counselor, understanding that this is the phase whereby a lot of people are going through this journey, face a lot of mental health issues, that people literally ignore them because they think that, okay, it's a normal thing, it's a normal process, and we don't know how to really help them out through it. So that's why I decided to write this book, which deals with the cultural aspect of waiting, physical aspect of waiting, mental aspect of waiting, also medical aspect of waiting. And also I share my story and story of other couples who have waited for sometimes and later had their baby. Most time when we hear testimony, this stirs up our faith. And this book is based on spiritual structure. Yes, spiritual structure, because there's nothing we can do without the help of God. So I'm not taking it for granted that God is the sole foundation of all what I wrote in this book, whether medical, mental, it is still with God. We all still base everything on God, because God made it happen. Yes, He gave the wisdom for the doctor to know what to do, to know the right treatment to give to people who are going through this. So He gives wisdom, but it is left for us to know what we do with the wisdom that God is giving to us, to know the right decision to take. So today I'm going to chapter 7. So before I go on, please, if by any way you have learned something so far from this video, please drop it in the comment below, whether you've learned something from the video as a couple, whether you are waiting. This book is not only for this is a couple, even as a single, you can have this book and read it. Even as even if you have your babies, if you've had your children, there are still some things you can learn from this book. So it's for different people, and I believe you can learn from it. So today I'm going to start chapter 7, which talks about roles in the couple's waiting room, that is, roles of the couple. But before then, positivity booster, whatever has a beginning has an end. I think we've discussed that. And the second one, you may have to fight the battle more than once to win. That's by Margaret Thatcher. Because you try something, you try a treatment once and it didn't work, doesn't mean you can't try again. So you keep trying until you get your result. So let's start. The fertility journey is a journey embarked on by two main characters, the man and the woman. It is a journey that, if not properly managed, could lead to tension and unimaginable stress. Aside from the man and the woman, there are other minor characters in the waiting room, friends and family. We will attempt to define all the roles so that it is easy to see what the responsibilities are in the waiting room. While going through this, I might be repeating some things that I've talked about in the previous chapters. So in case I'm still talking about them, I think it is for emphasis sake, because we need to keep talking about it, keep repeating it, you need to keep hearing. There are some things that you need to keep hearing over and over till you adapt and you know that, okay, this thing is not the right way to do things. Because when you don't know that some things are not right, when you don't know that some things are hurting, there's no way you can really adjust and put things in the proper way. So we're going to start from the man. So a man's role cannot be ignored in the waiting room, as he needs to create an adequate support system for his wife during this period. Here are a couple of ways he can help his partner along their fertility journey. A lot of people believe that, okay, as a man, maybe in African culture, that men have it all, their own concern is just to make sure they provide. There's more to your provision for the family. Find it's okay to provide, but as a couple that you have agreed that, okay, you want to embark on this journey with this woman, you are the one bringing her in, you are the one marrying her, you understand? So you can't leave her alone. She's not the only one making babies. Babies are made by male and female. It's not only a female that makes babies. So man, you are the carrier of that baby, as in you are even the one that carries the baby. You are just donating, you are just transferring it to your woman to be a carrier. The baby has been in your loins for years, so you are the one that housed the baby for years, but you are just transferring that's what you've carried to your woman to help you to add up to it and carry it to maturity stage. So you are the sole carrier of the baby. So don't think it's about the woman alone, that, okay, just let me just carry my baby and me. You are the one that has the major work to do. And that's why it is important for you as a man, what your own lifestyle, your way of life, the things you do, it determines the quality of your sperm. So don't think that, okay, I can just live any lifestyle that doesn't really matter, I can do things anyhow. No, all these things count, because having a lifestyle that is not healthy can affect the quality of sperm you are producing, because it is what you carry that you are going to transfer to your wife. So the first way to support your partner while you are trying to conceive is to communicate. Communication is a very key attribute every couple needs, whether you're even waiting or you're not waiting. Communication is very key. Where there's no communication, you don't talk, and communication in a way that the other party understands you. You might be communicating in the wrong way that the other party is not really getting it, because if you see that there are no changes, perhaps your communication is not really passing a message across to that person, then you have to look for a better or another way that will make this person understand you. So this is an integral part of every relationship. Remember, I said it, every relationship. So whether you are waiting or you are not waiting, communication is key. I think this is something that everybody needs to learn. You might say you don't like to talk, you are not a talking type, and this and that. But if you want to go in a relationship, it might even not be a romantic relationship. You want to really, as in, communication is a very important skill is a very important thing in the world. It's something that everybody needs. You need to communicate. We need to communicate to be able to pass information across to each other. So it is very important to learn the skill of communication. Communication skill is very important so that you can pass message, you can pass the right information to the other party. You might have the right information in you, but if you don't know how to pass it across to the other party, then there's no information passed. So this is very important to discuss how far you two are ready to go to get pregnant. And this is necessary so it can put you in check if you are getting too desperate and crossing your boundaries. Communicate your fears with each other. There are times fear sets in, but perfect love casts out all fears. You know, most of the time they say that, okay, it is we women that we like to talk, that men don't talk. But the truth is, you don't talk, you listen. But if you are listening, you must ensure that you are passing, as in you are listening to communicate, not just listening to just stay silent. If your wife is communicating her fears, she's a lot of women might be afraid to say some things to their guys or their man, because they feel like, okay, if I say this thing, how will he react to it? You understand? So if you are not getting understanding your partner, create that atmosphere whereby both of you will know the right appropriate way to communicate things, your fears. What are your fears about this period? Don't think that, okay, you can man it up. They say it a lot that, oh, men bottle up issues, and it is we the women that we like to express ourselves. We talk to people. We are looking for somebody to talk to, and like somebody make a joke out of it that maybe it was Eve that was so bored in the Garden of Eden, and the serpent came. The serpent came because she was bored, and the serpent came to keep the woman company because Adam, her husband, was nowhere to be found. He wasn't around, and a woman needed a companion, and the serpent came to communicate with her. That her part. This is very important because women want to communicate. They want to talk to. They want to talk about things. They want to talk about their fears. They want to talk about what bothers them. They want to talk about things they needed to do, or maybe things they want both of you to do, but they might not know how to talk about it because they believe that, okay, as a man, at least you've gotten everything right because you don't talk. But the truth and the reality that most women don't know that is men to go through issues. They have things they go through, but some men believe that, okay, they need to just man it up. They need to swallow some things up. They need to bottle some things up. Men don't get emotional. Men don't talk. Men shouldn't be talking. Fine, you might not be talking, but with your partner should be your best gist partner that you must be able to communicate whatever you are going through. So make yourself available for your partner to communicate with. So ask her about how she feels after each treatment. She's the one, most of the time, women are the major one that's really, we think that, okay, they are the one that go through the treatment, they are the one that takes the injection, they are the one that does a lot of things and the likes, For instance, for a woman that is going through IVF, I've seen somebody that went through that process, and honestly, it is not an easy thing to do. The man is just to donate the sperm, but the woman is the one that is going to go through the process of injecting herself as in egg retriever and the likes, So I understand what the process is. So when your woman is going through these phases, maybe she's having some symptoms and she thought it's pregnancy, and she went to do tests, and she comes back with the test result, and it comes out negative, and you just see her just getting emotional. You need to ask her. Don't just ignore her. Don't ignore her. That is a normal thing. Don't get used to a downtime. Don't get used to a moment of maybe moment that she's down. Let me just use that word, a down period. Don't get used to it, that it's a normal thing. Okay, her period has come. It's a normal thing. She'll be all right. Ask her, talk to her, listen to her, bring her out of that emotion. So don't just ignore her as if you don't even care. So please communicate with her. Ask her how she feels after each treatment she goes through. So although there are many others in this journey, the complicated process, the anxiety over financial issues and pressures from family, that might make you want to suppress your emotions as a man. And this is not the moment to bottle up anxiety and grief. You should allow your partner express their emotion and also be willing to let out your concerns as well. So it might be difficult for men to let out their emotions, but you need to unburden it at this time to distress yourself. Sometimes your wife may just want to stay away from some friends or family functions. Respect her decision by communicating it in a non-judgmental way. She knows herself and knows what she can accommodate per time. Yes, there are sometimes that your wife might tell you that they want to go to your family house, they want to, because they are the one. Your family might not talk to you, or they might not talk to her in your presence. While you are not there, you might not imagine what they might be saying to her while you are away. You might not understand how she feels. Maybe the body language she receives whenever she's in your family, and some even family members might give her some attitude. She understands what she wants. She knows how she feels when no matter how there are some husbands' family that they are very hostile, and there might have been issues. So please, if your wife says she's not doing something, don't enforce her to do it. Understand her pain. Talk about it. Don't make it look like compulsory. You have to go to my family house, you have to go to this function. Please respect the boundary and just let her be for that moment. If she wants to hang around with friends or with family, she will let you know. But if you don't communicate, you don't talk about it, you don't ask her question, you will just be thinking that, okay, she's just taking things too personal. So please communicate. Then number 2, support her by shedding some of her responsibilities. Your partner is going through enough emotional stress which might make her lose the energy to carry out some of her chores. You can show support by doing simple things as folding your clothes after coming back from work, trashing the bin, keeping track of doctor's appointment, or even ensuring she takes her prescriptions. Support in other ways that could ease up the stress on your wife. Furthermore, if you want a quick response turnaround from the other room, be a readily supportive man. I hope you get that. This is quite important because, like, maybe African men per se, they believe that it is the women that should carry the whole burden. Women are the ones to take care of the house. They want to do things, to do that. That they want to keep record. That they want to, it could be as simple as taking track record of her medication or doctor's appointment. It could be as simple as that. It could be as simple as ensuring that, she has a whole lot of busy day in the morning from work, and you come from work early. You don't need to wait for her to come home before you cook for her. You can make the food yourself. Prepare the food for her too. As simple as this can go a long way in being supportive. Don't say, it has to be the woman. She's the one that will wash the clothes. She will take care of the house. She will prepare the food. She will do things. And you will expect her to respond to you in the other room. No, it's not possible. If you want a good result from the other room, then prepare the ground. I talked about this in my previous chapter. So shed off some responsibilities from her is very important. Number 3, empathize by listening. You may not be able to experience some of what your wife is going through, especially when she is emotionally broken, but you can support through actively listening. Active listening is an excellent way to show that you care and support your wife. You cannot fix her, but you can give her the comfort of knowing that you will always be by her side, come what may. Being there to give a word of assurance is a stress alleviator for a woman going through emotional trauma during the waiting period. Being empathic with your woman, you are going through this honestly, and you know what she's going through, especially if she's the one that maybe the doctor says she has the issue. How about if you are the one that has the issue? Don't make it look like, maybe you are the one that has problem. Me, I'm okay. There are some men that will make it look like, okay, you are the one with the problem. I'm okay. I'm free of all those things. But the truth is, at that moment, she really needs you. At that time, she needs you to stand by her side. Whenever your family is tormenting her, when your family they are pressuring her, even when her family are pressuring her too, you need to really listen to her. need to listen to what she's not saying, because she might not even say some things to you. She might not tell you some things, but try to understand what she's not saying more than what she's even saying. So while you listen to her actively, then listen to her, listen to what she's saying from her mind. So this is very important. So be empathic, give her time, put yourself in her shoe, that if you're the one that has the issue, what will you do? And when your family, they are trying to mount pressure on you or on her, you know what to do, because you are the one that can really silence your family. You are the one that can really put some family members in order. That is your family members. You are the one, you don't expect your wife to be confronting your mom or your sister. You are the one that should put them in their places so that you can gain that respect for your wife. So please give her a moment to really understand her emotion. This is very important. Number 4, seek solution together. Honestly, a lot of African men, maybe men generally, they believe that infertility is a woman's thing, that okay, it's a woman that should be going to the hospital, it's a woman that should be having issues, it's a woman that are having issues, that they are the one that should go and sort things out. But the truth is, infertility could be either the man or the woman. So, or maybe none of the above. So don't always think that it's about her, that she should be the one to sort it out. It might be you. And even if it is her, if she's the one that is having the issue, you are still responsible to be there for her. You are still responsible to seek solutions together. You are responsible to come out through it, because it's a teamwork. It's something that you need to agree together as one body, that we want to conquer this together. So don't make it look like it's our responsibility, it's our thing, she should be the one. And if you notice, even in religious setting now, you see that women are even more than the male, because women tend to look for solution as in any way they can get it. So please be supportive. Go for prayers together. Go for medical checkup together. Check yourself too, as in don't say it's the woman that should go and do check whether she's the one that is fit or not. It might be you. So check out whether you are the one that is not fit. So it takes two to make a baby. The issue of fertility should not be a burden carried by your wife alone. You two should be spiritually committed and seek God's face together for a child. It is also expedient for you to research alongside your wife on the diagnostic test to be carried out, treatment options, fertility diet or lifestyle, and professional counseling. This is very important, and this is where we come in as a fertility counselor, that we talk about you the prescription, best method to go through, things you need to do together. Go for counseling together, go see doctor together. So never assume the problem comes from the woman. You also need to go for medical checkups and tests to find out if you have an underlying medical issues. So I told you that there was a time that somebody said that my husband should not take okra again. It's one of the carb man that I used to carry. And when he said that, I was like, my husband likes he likes okra, so why should it be okra that should be something that's is going to cut off from? But honestly, I had to talk to him that, and that, see, now that we've heard it, because I researched about ewedu, that okay, ewedu it's even have more nutrient more than okra. And I told my husband, and we agreed that okay, we have to just at least include okra in our diet, and he agreed with me. So as a man, don't say, oh, why should I stop this? Why should I take this drug? Why should I take this? Why should I stop this lifestyle? Maybe there are some men that maybe they love taking some unhealthy food, eating junks, things that could make them to be obese, things that could affect them, lifestyle, maybe smoking and the likes. And you've already known that, okay, they've told you maybe from the counselor or the medical practitioner that you went to see, who told you that, okay, you need to cut off from some of these things. So you need to agree to whatsoever recommendation they tell you, because this is two people coming together, joining hands together to get a result. So seek solutions together. Number 5, be careful who you take advice from. I mean, a lot of men actually, they hang out, even though they don't talk, but when they are in the midst of their colleagues, they open up, they say some things, and you can't imagine what guys talk about. Sometimes there are some friends and they are friends. They are friends and friends. When you notice that there are some friends that they are giving you some wrong advice, you need to check it out. You need to run away from such friend. Any friend that is giving you any advice that is against what you and your partner has agreed on, you need to stay away from such friends. Yes, you need to stay away from them. So during this period, you are susceptible to receiving advice from friends, families, neighbors, mentors, or even strangers. Any advice that is not based on the scripture should be discarded. When people come to you showing concern, let them understand that your situation is of utmost importance to you than anyone else. Let them also know that you are standing with and by your wife, irrespective of what happens in your union. This is one of the ways to reassure your wife of your loyalty, trust, and love for her. True love is tested more during this stormy situation. You know, a lot of people, their mom has advised them that, okay, for how long do you want to be waiting? You know, this woman is not going to give you a baby. Why not just try another woman outside? And for a man that does not have a stand, for a man that does not really know what he wants, for a man that doesn't know how to decide, you know, there are men and there are men. Yes, there are some men that they are, you understand what I'm saying, that every step, every decision they take, every decision they do is influenced by their parents, especially by their mom. So I'm sure that such a person is not qualified to become a man, because as a man, the scripture even say that a man shall leave his father and mother and cling to his wife. So you are not supposed to be going back and forth. I'm not saying that your parent cannot advise you, but based on some things that you know that, okay, this thing is about you and your wife, be careful of the advice you listen. Any advice that is against the wish of your wife, or is against, number one, biblical standard, any advice that is against what you and your partner has agreed, or where you are getting married, why you didn't tell her that if you don't have a baby, I'm going to marry a second wife. No, you never agree with that with your wife. Sorry, you never agree with that with your wife. So why would someone just come out and create some unnecessary fear to you that, is this how you're going to end on your wife? You know, there are ways people can make, they can aggravate issue. They can make something look so big to you that almost, you know, the way they will say, they will make you look less of a man. You know, that might be the time that some of your friends might be telling you, I have 3 boys, I'm up on a metal, you know, all those kind of things, those gist that goes on among men now. You know, they will say it, and if you are not careful, if you are a man that does not really have that self-esteem, you don't have high self-esteem, as in you don't know yourself, you don't have a strong confidence in yourself. If you are such a man that you are easily swayed by what you hear by people, you are easily pressured by people, I know that this thing could be disturbing. It could break you down at times. You know, when you see what your friend says, it could break you down. But if you know that you can't cope or you can't stand those things, it's okay to stay away from such friends. If you are hanging out around friends that are putting pressure on you or saying things to spite you or to make you feel less of a man, it's okay to stay away from such friends. It's what we call setting healthy boundaries. You know, you are setting healthy boundaries for yourself, for your mental health, for your family, for your home. So if your family are putting pressure on you, it's okay to stay away from them for a while. Yes, it's not a bad thing, because you and your wife, you are together in this journey. You are together. It's not about your partner or your parents. If your parents advise you to go for another woman and you married that woman and the woman too can't give you a child, what would you do? Would they tell you that again, that okay, go and marry the 3rd wife? That means that you don't even know what you are into as a man. So as a man, you need to be able to stand by yourself, stand for yourself first, and stand for your woman. If you can't stand for yourself as a man, there's no way you can stand for your woman. If you can't stand for yourself as a man, if you are easily swayed left and right, then they can manipulate you to control your woman. They can manipulate you to change or to distort your own plans for your marriage, for your home. So have a stand as a man. Have a voice that silences every noise around you. So this is very important. So when people come to you showing concern, I know they are going to come as if they care for you. Yes, fine. I appreciate they are caring, but let them know that you and your wife, you are on it. Just not in an argumentative way, not in a dishonoring way. Just appreciate them and say, thank you, we'll look into it. And let it end there. So when people come to you showing concern, let them understand that your situation is of optimal. Okay, I think I've read this. Okay, as a man, having a strong will is one of the characteristics you need to prove your manship in the home, not your ability to throw fist at your wife. This will determine whether you are susceptible to the pressures received from third parties. A man of the house is a man of the sound spirit to know right from wrong advice. Not all advice is favorable. Search all spirit and know which is good. That is even taken into the spiritual level. If bringing it down to the physical, people giving you advice, your friends, family, if it is not something that is in line with what you and your partner have agreed to do, then it's a no for me. So be a man of strong will when it comes to decision concerning your fertility journey. Number 6, be available when she needs you. Being available when your wife needs you sexually, you don't need to overwork yourself with activities, drain you and make you sexually weak when you are needed by your wife. You are a man of the house, you want to provide, you have overworked yourself, you work for money tonight, just say, oh, we need to make money, and it's fine, it's good to make money, but please, when your woman needs you, be available. Don't make her feel like, okay, all the one I've been doing, so what is the point? There are some men that can be, that can really be, they can, by the time they are drained or they are tired of the whole thing, they might feel like, okay, this journey, this process, this procedure is draining, so it's not worth it. So be available for her whenever she needs to. And I said something, I said, expanding your family shouldn't destroy your relationship, it should rather strengthen it. So now let's go to a woman's role in the waiting room. A woman is the main builder of the home. Nobody pays much attention to a man except on his wedding day, when the focus is on the man and his wife. After the wedding day, the wife remains the focus and everyone looks at her with scrutiny, searching for telltale signs that a baby is on the way. This is the reason why the women in the couple's waiting room need to build strong coping mechanisms. I talked about that last week about not wearing a pity party look that people will not be making you look like, oh, sorry, pele. That's when they will now be coming with different advice for you, things that does not really align with you, that does not align with your belief, because they see that, okay, you are someone that is very vulnerable. So number 1, be strong in faith and be spiritually sensitive. As a woman, you should be strong in faith and spiritually sensitive as you are in a vulnerable state of your life. This is a time to remain prayerful, remain positive, and draw close to God. During your waiting period, ensure that your senses are alert. If you have to go anywhere, don't go alone. Be accompanied by your spouse or a trusted friend. At this period, your spouse should become your best friend. There are times you would like to do some things or go to some places. Your spouse must be aware of it. If he refuses and God wants you to go there, commit his heart unto God's hand. He has a way of causing things to fall into place without putting any more tension in your home. And sometimes God might be using your spouse's refusal to keep you from unforeseen danger. So be more spiritually sensitive. This is very important because during this time there are many things you are open to getting different things, different opinion, different advice from people, they will give you different. I remember somebody that gave you one oil. That oil has something that looks like fish. It has something that looks like fish. Okay, sorry. So this is a time that, there are different times. There are times that it could even be you that God is showing something to. God might be giving you some instruction. God might be giving you direction on what to do per time. So you need to be sensitive. You need to be prayerful. God might speak to you too. He might speak to your husband. I remember the story of is it Rebecca that was carrying twin, and God spoke. She was worried that, why am I feeling this? I'm feeling uncomfortable, and God God showed up to her. God answered her that it is because you are carrying two nations. That's why you are feeling that way. You know, someone that is not really spiritually alive or spiritually sensitive might have rushed to somewhere else, might be taken to somewhere that maybe that baby will be contaminated, you know. And also I told you of the story of something when we were trying to just in a trying time, and my husband and I went to see a spiritual person, and the person gave us something, gave us an oil. And when I got the oil, we looked at the oil, and looking at the paper that was the label on the oil, we saw an image there. And when we saw the image, we were like, no, what's the meaning of this image? It doesn't really align with us. And even though we were waiting then, but we were not desperate, so we knew her boundary. So you know, there are some women that because of their desperacy, because of the desperation, because they are desperate about that time, the woman might go back and go and take that thing, knowing fully that the husband too is not in agreement with that. You know, even that time when my mom asked me what that prophetess said, I said she gave us something. My mom now, and I now say, she was not like, okay, so what do you want to do? Are you taking it or not? I said, I don't know. I asked her to that, should I take it or not? She too, she was saying that she don't know, that, you know, she was afraid. She couldn't say yes and she couldn't say no. So at that point, I was left to make a decision of what I want to do. So if you as a woman, you are not sensitive, you are just, all you are all about is how to make baby, you might go and do something that is against the plan of God for your life. You know, I told you how the whole story ended. I never knew that time that I went to meet that prophetess, I was already pregnant in that month. And I went to meet that prophetess, and what she gave me was not something that was really, we're not comfortable with it. So imagine if I had taken that thing, perhaps the baby would have been contaminated by something, by another spirit, and I wouldn't know that God has already done it. So you need to be spiritually alert as a woman during this time. While your husband too is the priest of the house, you to let your spiritual antenna be very, very sensitive. Then number 2, and also I said something, before you go to anywhere, always inform your husband, as in place of trying to have babies. Just let your husband be aware. Number 2, be in agreement with your husband. You must be in agreement with your husband on the step that you require to take. If you discover that your husband is relenting in taking certain initiative, you don't need to give up or stop trying. You know, I said something earlier here, I don't know if it is in the last phrase, that if your husband is not agreeing with you on some things, don't give up. You can put his heart in prayer. God says the key to the heart of king belongs to God. So God can turn things, or it can make him change his mind towards that thing. So please be in agreement with your husband on the decision you want to take. Number 3, be careful of who you take advice from. You know, like I talk about this from the male perspective. As a female, we are the ones that are most vulnerable to advice, because we are the ones that feel the pressure the more. So people can come, like friends, like parents, like siblings, like anybody, to give you advice. But know what you want. You know, it's being sensitive that will make you know that, okay, I need to know the kind of advice I need to take. Some people might give you advice that will be positive. Some might give you advice that are negative. Be sensitive to the advice you listen to. I'm not saying that people don't take to advice, but know, as sift the advice you take, to be careful. So not every advice is good for you. The fact that someone took a certain route and it worked doesn't guarantee that the same route will work for you, especially if it is not medically or scientifically proven. Individuals respond differently. Always make extensive research before taking any prescriptions, and remember that it is important to carry your spouse along. I said that earlier. Number 4, desire a child, but don't be desperate. Although a woman's level of persistence is higher than a man's, in your wait for a child, be careful not to be desperate. Do not take steps that are ungodly or against the biblical standard. A good number of women are falling victim of spiritual slavery, hypnotism, and fraud just because of their desperation to have a child. If you have to seek spiritual help, be careful with where you go, as many fake prophets and traditionalists have taken advantage of many women in this situation. The foundation of God stands sure. Check the place of worship where you pray. If the practice is against the biblical standard, check it. So many people have added problems to their problems because they sought help in the wrong places. It is a good thing for the woman to be proactive when it comes to seeking a child, but apply wisdom in all you're doing and ensure your intuition is active. The Holy Spirit is our guide to lead and direct us in the things we do. I think this too is just likely to the previous one I talked about, that being sensitive in the spirit, knowing where to go part-time, know who to go part-time. You might desire a child, but don't be desperate. And number 5, okay, the last one, enjoy sex with your husband. So it could be discouraging sometimes when you think that your sexual life is not yielding results. Remember, sex is meant to be enjoyed first and not endure. So you must be in the right frame of mind for both of you to enjoy sex. Remember, it tends to bring out a positive outcome. Be intentionally sexy. Never be boring in the bedroom because you think previous sexual alliance have not yielded any fruit. Because you are not getting pregnant at the right time doesn't mean that you should now, I said it last week, that it doesn't that you should now wear a sad look, you should not dress well, you should not look okay for your spouse. This is the time that you need to even dress well the more. Be attractive to your spouse. Make yourself available for your partner, because you can't make baby without having been intimate with your partner. So you must be available. Make yourself available. Don't overwork yourself, because a lot of times stress also is also one of the factors that causes infertility. So don't overstress yourself so that you get weary, you weaken yourself out of the moments that might be your most fertile period. So please enjoy sex with your spouse. Then now, the role of family and friends in the waiting room. Yes, this is very important, and that's why you need to really share this video, because those families, those uncles, those aunties, that's mother-in-law, father-in-law that are putting pressure on you and your partner, they need to really understand what they are doing to you, how they are making you feel. They might not make you feel bad, but they might be making your wife feel bad. So the family is the first place of safety, love, and encouragement. It should not be a place where pressure is placed on the waiting couple as if they do not desire to have children. It is the joy of every parent to look forward to seeing their children raise families of theirs. There's a limit to what a waiting couple can do, and they need as much encouragement and support as possible. It is easy to insensitively hurt the feelings of waiting couples, and these are some of the roles of friends and family in the couple's waiting room. Number 1, pray for them. Yes, I think I did a video about what you can do, what you need to say, and what you can say, what you can't say to couples who are trying to conceive. So pray for them. This is the ultimate. Pray for them. Never stop praying for them. If you can't talk to them, you can ask them. If you are afraid how they will feel, please don't be afraid to pray for them in your secret. Pray for them in your secret place. It is important to stand for them in the place of prayer and constantly seek the face of God on their behalf. So never grow weary of praying for the couple. Number 2, be a source of encouragement. Always be ready to be of assistance and offer a kind word of encouragement and a shoulder to lean on. You should render help, but do it in a manner that does not put pressure on the couple or make them appear like they are not taking their plight seriously. So be positive always. So there are times that just a little word of encouragement might stir them up, might build their faith or build their confidence or their courage up, or can keep them going. And a word of discouragement is enough to break them also. So as much as possible, the words of your mouth, they are important. The things you say to them at this time is very, very important. So always be a source of encouragement to them. Then number 3, be sensitive. Be sensitive to the pains of the waiting couple. If you can't give a soothing and encouraging word, then it is better to say nothing and silently pray along with the couple. You don't have to relay everything you hear to the couple. Be selective about the information you pass on to them, especially as regards what other people are saying about them. If it is not going to grow their faith and brighten their countenance, then they probably do not need to know. There are some things you might hear from people. It always put yourself in the position that, okay, if you are the one that hears this thing, how would you feel? If it is your daughter that is going through this waiting period and they say this thing about her, how would you feel? When somebody says that thing about my partner, when that sister told me something that somebody said that my partner has skeleton in his cupboard, and that is why we don't have a baby. I didn't tell him all through that time. I did not tell him. It was after we now had a baby that I just told you, because I know how that word could break someone. So you might hear some things about the people that are waiting. You might hear things that people say about them, but you don't need to tell the person. Like I told you also a similar story of somebody that after I went to Ilorin, somebody called me all the way, from I think Jos or thereabout, and the person said, someone said she saw me in Ilorin, that she now asked after me from the person, and the person said the way my tummy is big, that I'm going to have triplets. Maybe the person did not know, maybe the person wanted to confirm, I wasn't sure, but that thing, after the person said that thing to me, I laughed it off, but honestly, I wept bitterly after that statement. The person didn't know the harm she caused me by telling me those things. So, if you are someone like that you hear things about people that are waiting, always be careful, be sensitive with the things you say, be sensitive with the advice you give them, be sensitive with the words you say to them. If you say, be sensitive with the advice, with the treatment, with the suggestion you give them. Once you always study them before you give them suggestions. If you know that, okay, they are not open to that kind of conversation, distract, as in change the discussion immediately. Don't even linger on it. Change the discussion. So always understand their countenance. So the last one, respect their space. The waiting room is a highly emotional time where the major characters are at their most vulnerable state. If they request for space or seek healthy boundaries, don't fight them or take it personal. Respect their privacy. This is very important. If they say they don't want a family member, maybe you say you want to bring your son or your daughter to come and stay with them to help them. Did they tell you that they need company or they need family member or they are bored? No, please don't enforce third party into their home. If they say they don't want to come to a function, allow them. Don't make it compulsory that you have to bring your wife, or your wife will have to come and do a housewife role. You know all those traditional way of doing things, and you the husband too, you don't know how to address those issues. You are telling your wife, so your wife might not take it lightly with you. So please, as family, respect their privacy. As mother-in-law, don't impose things on your wives. If your wife is not ready to come for a family function, please allow them. Respect them. You don't know what they are going through. So please don't enforce things on them when they are not ready. Don't enforce treatment. If you are trying to tell them that, okay, why not do this thing? Why not go for this treatment? It is okay. You might give a suggestion, and if they are not doing it, leave them. Allow them. You might be telling them to come for a prayer meeting in your church. If they say they don't want to come, then leave them. Don't make it look like they are not serious with their lives. So please respect their privacy. So once everyone has an understanding of the roles in the couple's waiting room, it is easier to get along in an atmosphere that is free of tension and wait for God to move at His appointed time. So this is the end of section 1 of my book. Yeah, it's been a 7-week journey. And next week we are going to be starting section 2. This is the medical aspect of waiting period, and we'll be talking about fertility and its inhibitors. Fertility and this inhibitor, talking about understanding infertility in a man, infertility in a woman, secondary infertility, talking about treatment, available tests and treatments for each one. So this is very important, and I wouldn't want us to miss this next section that we're starting next week. So if you have any question, or you have any contribution, or you have a testimony of your waiting period you want to discuss with us, just drop it in the comment section, or you just send me a DM and I'll be glad to read from you. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining me on Facebook and on Instagram. No, not on Instagram, on YouTube. Yes, thank you for joining me live on YouTube and also on Facebook. So till I come your way again next week for the continuation of my book review, and this book is still available for you. You want to buy it for yourself, you want to buy it for someone, it's still available for 2,500 naira only. You can buy it as many as possible, share with people that really needs it. And you want to be a distributor in any part of the country, as in you can just reach out to me. All right, thank you very much, and do have a good night rest. Bye.